Now, as we all know, rogue decks are my bread and butter, as I genuinely find it more interesting to play decks that are fun than the ones that are objectively good. Because there's so much depth to this game, by spamming the same deck over and over again, you tend to miss out on much more fun ways to play the Pokemon TCG. However, there are times when the sun shines upon thyself and blesses me from the heavens a deck that is not only fun and interesting, but also really strong. Which is why I have found myself a deck that might take up that mantra and entered a tournament with it to see how far I could go. So, how about I show you that deck? Well, before I do, here's a confession. This isn't exactly my deck. I know, throw your stones and tomatoes my way, give it all to me, I deserve it. Yes, I came across this deck on Twitter, but I was surprised to see how unnoticed it was. But to me, I love Metang, so this immediately caught my attention. But what was more interesting to me is that Heatran wasn't the main attacker as you'd usually expect in a Metang deck. No, this deck had a bigger focus on the one and only Goldengo, which has the scintillating surfing attack. Try say that 3 times in a row quickly. Which allows you to flip a coin for each metal energy attached to it, doing 80 damage for each heads. Now, on the surface for a stage 1 Pokemon, that's not gonna look so good when compared to Heatran's guaranteed 50 damage for each energy attached to it. But oh, my friend, how foolish thyself is. There are some things you were definitely overlooking. You see, Goldengo doesn't discard your energy, making your deck much less reliant in comparison on item cards like Energy Recycler, for example, which when under item lock is a very big deal, and we all know how common item lock is in the Pokemon TCG right now. Furthermore, in the situation that you don't get KO'd, instead of finicking around the next turn trying to find your energy to get another Heatran charged up, you can instead dedicate your time and resources to developing your board state. Now, yes, I'll admit these aren't the biggest bonuses in the world, and you're right, but there is one other crucial component that I've yet to cover, and that is Genesect EX, which allows you to search your deck for 2 metal evolved Pokemon and just put them into your hand, which is crazy for a deck that plays so many metal evolutions. But Genesect isn't out yet. Like I'm gonna let that stop me. No, I decided to try and accommodate for that loss by building a list that had more focus on getting Pokemon out by increasing the Puffin and Arven count. Oh, and I also added a Regigigas, which is massive for being able to one-hit KO Terra Pokemon like Dragapult EX. All with the hopes that we can still make big moves while missing a very big card. So I threw the list together and was ready to take on the tournament. And to explain how the tournament is structured, we'll be starting off with 7 Swiss rounds. Basically, to simplify it, you just play 7 singular games. If you win, you get 3 points. If you tie, you get 1 point. And if you lose, you get 0 points. Like football. And after those 7 Swiss rounds, if you get into the top 8 players, you then advance into Top Cut, which at that point you play a best of 3 to see if you can advance into the top 4 and then again into the finals. Simple enough, really. And so now we understand the list that we're playing, we understand the tournament, but I want to set a goal. Look, I know I'm not the best player out there, except that I am, which is why I'm gonna try and win it. No, okay, I won't try and win. All right, let's keep it real. Top 8. Top 8 seems like a very, very solid goal to have when taking my level of skill into account and the fact that the deck is technically nerfed. So without further ado, let's get into round 1, where we were paired against Hydreigon. I know. An interesting start already. But I wasn't intimidated, you see, because we had a Regigigas on our side. But anyway, I was surprised to see that they decided to go first, because with a stage 2 deck, you'd definitely be expecting a TM Evo play. Nonetheless, they start with a Pheasantipity in the active and bench a Dino, attaching a Mist Energy to it, and then ending their turn. With me hoping for a draw supporter or something, because my hand wasn't really that great. Well, I'm hoping for a good... Oh, okay. All right, that's actually fine. All right, let's see what we get for Iono. But sadly, we didn't get anything from that Iono, so all I could do is bench a Heatran and go for Dig Claws. Now, from that point on, we both were primarily focused on developing our board state until my opponent decided to get aggressive and throw a Hydreigon into the active, which for me was confusing because they didn't have Obsidian ready to go and was very unlikely to have it, which definitely turned out to be the case. Yeah, Crushing Headbutt. That's really good for us. So with that golden opportunity, you best believe I tried my absolute best to get that Reggie charged up, doing everything I can to get the max odds of hitting them Metangs to charge up my Reggie. And here is what came of it. I have to hit. Yes, okay. Oh, all right. Instant one-hit KO. That's good. That's really good. Really, 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 really good. A massive one-hit knockout with Reggie there. That's really nice. So nice, in fact, my opponent struggled to find their footing, resulting in me taking another knockout on a Zoraki X. After which they made a strange play using Petulant to put Pheasantipity in the active, ultimately winning me the game. Which was perfect for a start, especially when it comes to confidence going into the next 6 rounds. And so with top 8 in our sight, we press on. Going into round 2 against Zacian EX and Cramorant. Let's see how this one goes. Going first this time, I think starting a Heatran or something would be nice. Oh, okay. Nice. The opening hand in this game was really, really good. Having so much basic search and a Metang already in hand, I was feeling pretty good. As I end my turn with a pretty solid turn 1. My opponent opens with Arven for Nest Ball and Choice Band to then play said Nest Ball to bench Latias EX. And then playing Hop's Bag to bench Zacian and Cramorant, attaching the Choice Band to Zacian, retreating, and going for an Insta-Strike attack, hitting my benched Gimmighoul for 30 damage. So they had a pretty solid turn 1 as well. Okay, flipping heads here would be really bad for us. Yes, okay, that's good. That means we only need 3 energy here in order to take a knockout. That's really, really good. Oh, double attack. Okay, yeah, we're cooking now. You can say that again. Anyway, I use Artisan to get another Heatran, worrying about the Iron Bundle play. Then attached to the active Heatran, going for my first Metal Maker. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I need to get 2 here. Oh, thank God for that. Yes, luckily we was able to get enough energy to then take a nice knockout on that Zacian for a great head start. Promoting the Cramorant, my opponent benches a Monkey Dory and attaches a Luminous Energy to it, and then Arven to get themselves a Night Stretcher and a TM Devolution, which scared the hell out of me. But their focus was to attack for now, so they attach a Choice Band and go for a recovery for the Zacian EX, then going for a Fickle Spitting. And in recognizing that I actually need more energy to knock out that Cramorant for 100 damage when using Goldengo, I decided to go again with Heatran here. Okay, I think I Heatran, but I have to try and evolve the Gimmighoul. I think that's what I want to do. So the decision made, all I needed to do was play out my turn and try and thin as much as possible to get those Metal Maker hits. I'm pretty confident that we should just hit 2 here. At least, that's all we need. Yeah, that's 2. Which gave me a lot of confidence for sure. But either way, I attach to the active, and I also go for a Metal Maker on the benched Gimmighoul in preparation for them potentially taking a multi-prize turn here. I then take the knockout with Steel Burst. Feeling good about the following turn with that secret box in my hands, opening so many more options. But this, my friend, is where we were blessed, as my opponent had nothing. All they did was retreat into Monkey Dory, gust up one of my Pokemon, and pass. Ooh, they have nothing. That's really good. This is an opportunity I cannot miss. So, of course, I played a secret box, getting a Jacq, Energy Recycler, TM Evolution, and an Artisan. Play that Jacq to get myself a Metang and Goldengo, evolving into both of them. Playing Energy Recycler to get all of my energy back into the deck and maximize my Metang odds. And begin the process of using Metal Maker 3 times with all 3 Metang. I need a lot of energy on this Goldengo for it to really guarantee a KO on this. I feel comfortable with 5 because I still need to hit some Heatran next turn, and I think we're probably going to be running into an Ursaluna. So I think 5 is enough, and then we just try and get some energy on Heatran. 5 should be enough. We just need 2 heads, really. In fact, well, 4 kind of guarantees it, technically speaking, right? Yeah. Okay. Whoa! Okay, big boy numbers. That's because only big boys hit big boy numbers. Anyway, after that, they scooped. Yeah. They couldn't hack it anymore. Yeah, I know. That's very sudden, isn't it? But hey, a win is a win. That's another one on the board with 2 rounds and 2 wins. And I'll tell you what, I think I'm getting a hang of this deck. So how about we go straight into game 3 this time around? And maybe we can actually get a top tier meta deck to play against this time, eh? And if you want to classify Joltik box as top tier, then that's going to be it. Getting straight into it, I was a little bit reluctant because we was going first, and the hand itself was looking kind of okay, but no Beldums. Thank God we got a Beldum. That was getting worrisome. What a stroke of luck, eh? Either way, I bet you Gimmighoul attached to the active and end my turn. And on their turn, they use Miraidon to get Iron Hands and Pikachu EX out, play a Crispin to get a Lightning on Joltik, and a Metal on the Pikachu, retreating into the Joltik and going for his acceleration attack. charging up the Iron Hands. And knowing me and my luck that I always get in every single video, I get a Puffin top deck, meaning I can play it and get even more Beldums down. And of course, I then play my Jack, debating to get either Gholdengo and Matang or just double Matang, but ultimately opting for the double Matang to get the most amount of energy acceleration in this turn. Except that turned out to be a misplay because I couldn't evolve into the Matang anyway. We'll forget about that. Now, in terms of what to accelerate to, I was debating attacking with Gimmighoul itself, as it did 30 damage and does knock out the Joltik. As either way, I'm going to be using 3 energy to attack, so that's what I started going for.
Bench Heatran, attach, just tackle for the knockout. Either way, Hands is getting a KO on me. If I can respond with one, that would be good. Gholdengo, okay.
Now looking back on this, I'm wondering if I should have just gone with Gholdengo, as the Hands currently doesn't have a 1-hit KO on that. But only time will tell to see if that did punish us in the future. As they go for a Pheasantipity, play an Arven, and get a Prime Catcher and Booster Capsule, meaning I was correct. They would have had a knockout on my Gholdengo.
Okay, it seems like they're probably going to go for my Matang right now with the Prime. They know I have another Matang. They're going for Heatran. Okay, guess they perceive that to be a bigger threat. But that means I've got Gholdengo now with potentially a lot of energy. This is going to be interesting. Okay.
Now, the following turn is an interesting one, as I top deck an Arven and played it, thinking, do you know what? I should probably just get a secret box because I would probably need it the next turn. Except I misclicked and accidentally got myself the rod. Now, it did take a second for that to hit me. I was so locked in that I was dead calm until afterwards I started to realize what I just did.
No, I got a rod by accident. Okay, that's fine. Do you. Just do you. Yeah, getting that secret box, that... I can't believe I whiffed that. I got a super rod instead of a secret box by accident? I thought I was locked in right now, but apparently not. Oh, bro.
Yeah, this kind of sucked because I didn't have a follow-up next turn, so getting a KO here was imperative. We had to do it.
Come on, please make up for it. Heads.
All 4 heads! Okay. That makes up for it a little bit. But sadly, from the prizes, we only got a Recycler and a TM Evolution, meaning we had no supporter card, no follow-up. But thankfully, my opponent didn't have much either. They still needed to get energy in play, and attacking a Gholdengo with Pikachu EX doesn't feel very good.
Are they going to Joltik again? I mean, you can just Crispin Pikachu take a knockout, but granted, I could effectively just dig claws you and just like set this up for a KO with Reggie, so maybe it's correct to go for Joltik right now. But then at the same time, that's kind of wild.
Regardless, after benching a Clefairy and playing a few Pokegears, they were able to find Crispin to accelerate energy and charge up the Pikachu EX. And after Ultra Balling for a Blood Moon Ursaluna, they retreat into the Pikachu and do indeed attack it for 300 damage, discarding the energy. All for 1 prize card. But we can't get carried away, as we still have no follow-up, so it's all about that top deck.
Oh, okay. All right. Arven, definitely a secret box turn. That's for sure. What do I secret box away here? I think I actually get rid of Regigigas because I can recover that. Yeah, maybe Jacques is just to keep taking knockouts. I think I just need to keep chaining knockouts here.
So after playing that secret box, there wasn't much I could really do. So all I did was just play my cards. That being Rods to recover some Pokemon, Puffin to get some more Pokemon out, Recycler to recover even more energy, and then Metal Maker to get 1 energy on the Beldum and go for a Dig Claws to deactivate Pikachu's ability. It's a bit of a weak turn, but I think a useful one nonetheless.
If they come back up with Joltik, I can just Iron Tackle, take it out, and then just set up some Gholdengos. Oh, they're not... Okay, a Galvantula.
Now that was a good sign because they haven't got much energy in play, and all they really can do to KO me here is either go for an Ursaluna, which they can't with a full bench, or Crispin and attack with either Galvantula or the Clefairy. Again, very weak. And because of this, all they did was attach a Metal to Pikachu, play a Petrol to get Crispin, and end their turn.
Oh, this is dangerous. Like, I mean, extremely dangerous of you. Oh, okay, I can't double Beldum. I wanted to, double Matang, but I can't. This is looking good. It's looking very good. Let's evolve you. And we need a lot of energy to get this KO, but if we do, we could be talking. I think we just load it up the best we can. I need to do 200 damage. Oh, we're whiffing some energy. We are whiffing quite a bit, but if I could hit a 4 on this, go on. It's a 2. Oh man, would I love to be using. I think I should have saved that bench lock. This would have been a guarantee KO of Heatran. All right, coin flip time. It's time for the flippity flippities. Come on, hit me at it. Yeah? No? Yes? No? Oh, is that enough? I don't think it's enough. Is it? Oh, it's enough. Okay. All right. That's the 2 prizes are gone. We're looking good. We're looking very, very, very good. Again, 3rd game in a row. We're looking super strong.
Could you tell I was excited? Because I very much was. This could be 3-0 right now. So after benching the Ursaluna, they go for a flip the script and go for a Crispin afterwards to get energy on a Galvantula to then attach a charm to the Ursaluna, retreating into it and attacking, requiring us to hit over 310 damage to win the game or get a boss KO.
Let's see what we got off the top deck. It's a reversal. That would have done something. Iono's bad because of you. I think I Arven here and just get another recycler. Let's get that Heatran going. We'll get the Heatran back out. So we get energy back in the deck again. So we should hit some pretty good energy. Bro, if I'm not winning right now, I don't know what to say, bro. This is 100% a win at this point. I'm kind of loading up here in the hopes that I just get enough heads. I think it's 4 heads I need. I only need 4. And if we have 8, then the odds are base at this point, 9 energy. It's pretty much guaranteed. That might be a bug. I think we hit it because their HP went from green to black, and there you go. Another win. Jesus, this Goldengo is cooking right now. Round 3 done, and we are 3-0.
Now, let's be real. I'm sure none of you expected things to go this smoothly so soon. But hey, it is what it is. When you've got Shawnee Boy at the helm, you best believe we're doing some cooking. But the question is, can we continue? Well, my friends, this is where things got a little bit more interesting, if you didn't think it was interesting enough. By the way, if you've taken a shot for every time I've said interesting, I'm sorry. I apologize for your alcohol poisoning. Going into round 4 against a Blaziken and Dragapult deck, something weird happened.
Oh, they passed? What? Excuse me. What is... paid actor. I'm in a tournament, bro. This is not paid actors. Concession. Oh, no. They must have run out. Something must have happened on their end. Oh, that just feels so illegitimate. But the game's the game. They said GG's. Wait, what? I'm trying to see if I can find out what happened there. They just gave like a frown face and then just said GG's. I don't know what's going on. They've not got back to me. I think they had to go. It must have been a situation when their mum said it's dinner time, you know? That is an illegitimate win, but these things happen, you know? So that's technically 4 on the trot. Look, I'll take it. It is what it is. We just got to keep going and move forward.
And with that, giving us the 4 wins and 0 losses with 0 ties, top 8 is looking very, very likely. But with a win on game 5, it's pretty much guaranteed. So this one is a must win. And what are we up against? Raging Bolt. Let's get into it. Starting off with a good omen, we were able to finally choose if we wanted to go first or second.
For the first time in a while, I'm actually given the option to go second. So I'm feeling good about this.
As they use Fan Call to get 2 Hoot Hoots and a Noctowl whilst benching 2 Noctowls and 1 Ditto. They then retreat into the Ditto after attaching a Fighting to that Rotom in the active, and then transform into a Baby Raging Bolt, benching a Ogerpon with a Nest Ball and ending their turn.
So my opponent's doing the right thing by prioritizing their single prizes. I think what I've got to do here is just pretty much fully load up the bench, you know? Just get 3 Beldums, get a Gimme Ghoul down. You could be a target for Regigigas, but I don't think you're going to come out anytime soon. Let's get Secret Box. Make sure I don't misclick this time around and just TM Evo into 2 Matangs.
I did also debate benching another Heatran, but decided to leave that bench slot open to not overbench. Going into their second turn, they evolve into Noctowl, finding Crispin and Earthen Vessel. They play the Crispin to place a Fighting Energy on the active and put a Lightning into their hand. Then they play Earthen Vessel, finding a Lightning and Grass Energy. Then Teal Dance that Grass Energy onto the Ogerpon and attaching a Lightning to the active, allowing them to use Thunderburst Storm to put 60 onto my Matang. Now, my original strategy was to play Secret Box to get Jacq, but with top decking Goldengo, that plan changed.
Now that I've got this Goldengo, I feel like play for Jacq is actually worse with the Secret Box. I think I Arven here and just try and keep the ball rolling. So I just hold on to this hand because I've got an attacker now. I think I still want to bench a Heatran, actually. Let's just get a KO here. We should find enough. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll preemptively set up another Heat. Another Goldengo, actually. I think I want to be attacking with Goldengo if they come up with a 2-prizer, because I need 5 energy on a Heatran in order to OHKO a Raging Bolt, and that's going to be problematic. So I think the Goldengo only requiring, well, what is it, 3 heads to knock out a Raging Bolt, I think can go a lot further.
Now, at this point, I wasn't feeling overly confident, but still pretty okay. And then I recognized something. With the play of that Night Stretcher to recover the baby Raging Bolt, I recognized that I'm probably not going to be hitting a Raging Bolt EX. As we are already 4 wins in, we're playing against someone who knows how to play the game and is probably trying to keep this as a single prize matchup as much as they can to prevent me from taking the lead, which is very smart prize mapping, something that's very important if you want to be a good player. And I was right. To save some time, because this was quite a long game, my opponent strategically managed to, throughout the game, constantly bring up single prizes and take knockouts, ultimately landing us at this position in the game.
If they don't deck out, they are at 3 cards right now. Deck out is genuinely a possibility here, and they've played so well. And on any other given day with any other given deck, they would have beaten me. Like, they are really, I can tell they're a good player. They are thinking about their plays. They're genuinely trying to adapt to the deck they're facing. You can tell they're really giving it a good go. But at this point in time, now that they don't have any single prizes left to really attack with, you can take out my Matang, but I'm ready to go. That's really what you want to do. Ensure there's 2 threats down. You take out the Matang, Heatran attach, attack. Take out the Heatran, Matang attach, maybe get an attack off. So your best thing to do is actually take out this Heatran. That's what they want to do.
And of course, them being a good player and all, they do boss it and take it out, leaving the ball in my court to get the 5th win in a row with this Goldengo deck.
I think I promote Goldengo because I can manually retreat that if things go wrong. Yes, I'll promote Goldengo. If I hit with Matang, that's GG because of the burn. The burn allows me to get the KO. And let's see. I'm going to bench you down just to be safe. You've got to be better safe than sorry here. And we just need to hit this Metal Maker. This is the deal breaker, and it's the perfect 1 energy we needed. That is another win for this Goldengo Matang Heatran deck. Just popping off right now. All right, there we go. Let's look at the dashboard. All W's, baby. All W's. I'm loving this. This is great fun.
Can we just take a second to appreciate this record? I know one of them is basically a free win, but come on, give me some props, man. As to get this far in Swiss with a deck that is effectively nerfed, I think that's pretty cool, man. And to break the news to you, with this win, we did actually achieve our goal of top 8. I know, what on earth, man? But we could go further. We could go to the finals. And so that is where I am now aiming. With games 6 and 7, these 2 games don't matter as much. So I'm just going to break down what happened in them, and we'll then get into the top cut. So for game number 6, we matched up against Spidops Stall, which, yes, that's a very difficult one to play. And unfortunately, I just couldn't get the win. I had no idea how to play this deck against Stall, or even if it is good against Stall. It didn't feel too great, I'll tell you that. So unfortunately, that's going to be the first official loss in this video. And sadly, it doesn't get any better from there, as game 7, we bricked terribly after being Iono'd into an awful hand, resulting in me being able to do literally nothing but sit there and get KO'd twice for game. Now, I'm very glad that these were the last 2 games of Swiss after getting to top 8, otherwise I would have been fuming. So I'm just gonna count my lucky stars and get into the finals. But allow me to remind you on how it works. Top Cut consists of 3 complete rounds, that being the top 8 round, the top 4 round, and if you get through to it, the finals. And each round consists of a best of 3. So you play 3 games, and whoever wins 2 of them will go through. So for us in top 8, we need to win 2 of those 3 games. And for the matchup that we have here, we are going to be playing against Dragapult Charizard. This is the big leagues. And starting off, we were going first, which is already kind of a big hit considering we much prefer going second. And after playing a Poffin and attaching an energy, all I could do was pass. And watch as my opponent plays an Arven to get Buddy Poffin and TM Evolution, to use said Poffin to get a Charmander and Dreepy out, and then go for a TM Evolution, evolving into Jacloak and Charmeleon. And I followed suit with pretty much the same strategy, except I got a secret box from my Arven, planning to maybe use a Jack the turn afterwards. But my opponent had no time to waste, evolving straight into Charizard EX to apply some pressure, retreating into it and bossing up my Metang, knowing exactly what to target. As they then play an S-Ball for another Dreepy, evolve into Charmeleon, and then take the knockout. Now, knocking out a 330 HP Charizard with just 2 Metang and barely any energy in play is relatively unlikely, but I thought I'd go for it until I top decked a Regigigas and had to make a decision. Do I try and get Goldengo going, or try and get Regigigas going? And after taking some time pondering what I should do, I ultimately believed that to get 5 energy in play in order to retreat and charge up Regigigas, it was just too much of a gamble. So I decided to go for the Goldengo, hoping I can just get some poke damage on it to maybe take a KO later on with a Heatran or something, and use Regigigas later on in the game against a Dragapult. And so after benching another Beldum to keep my Metangs high, I go for the attack and end up hitting 160 damage. And after them developing their board and knocking out my active Goldengo, I played my secret box to try and get the most out of this hand and develop my board as far as I could. Playing Jack to get a Metang and a Goldengo, Energy Recycler to recover as much energy as we could, and then accelerating with 1 Metang to only get 2 energy and needing a few more to really KO that Charizard. This was a big turn.
Come on, come on. Oh, okay. Massive. Absolutely massive. I have a feeling 5 is enough. I have a feeling 5's enough. I just have a gut feeling that 5's enough. Come on, please don't prove me wrong. Oh my lord. Okay. I was right to think that. All right, Reggie's still alive. That's really good. That's really, really good. They can still take 2 prizes here though with Hawlucha. Oh, can they get Dragapult out? They can get Dragapult. So Hawlucha, Dragapult, Beldum is their way to do it.
But instead, my opponent benches a TU, evolving into Charizard to accelerate to it, thus knocking out my Pokemon with a single Prizer. Clearly an attempt to control the prize trade. And sadly, with a hand like this and just top decking Recycler, all I could really do was just come in with Heatran and take a swing.
Oh, okay. No hit. I need 2. I need 2 of the odds of me hitting 2 are quite decent. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's what I've got.
And with only 1 prize to take, I was hoping for something good off the prizes, but it was just another Gimmighoul. So my confidence was nowhere near as improved. And what's even worse is they do bench the Hawlucha. With pinging my Beldum, they can take 2 prizes this turn with Dragapult. It's safe to say this game is not looking very salvageable. But what's important in these times is not to jump to conclusions. Literally anything can happen. Like them playing an Iono, which in hindsight looks like a bit of a misplay. As with a hand of 7 and me with a hand of 2, you gotta be real, the odds are I'm just not winning next turn. And that's not to judge because I've probably made a couple misplays already and just not recognized them, just pointing it out. But either way, they played that Iono and took 2 prizes by KOing the Heatran and also the benched Beldum. Now, looking at things with hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have benched that Beldum, and it got the better of me when they started gusting up on my Metangs in the early game, and I have been punished for that. Nonetheless, we responded with a KO from Regigigas for the vibes, but ultimately lost the first round. Now, because this is a best of 3, it's not over yet. And on this occasion, we also get to choose if we want to go first or second because we lost the first round. And if it did go anything like the first game, we could probably get a win purely by being able to start better off. So let's get into it and see how this round went.
Want to make sure we get our things out early and not get punished for having a Pokemon that's Dragapult can punish. Energy attached pass would be kind of good. Yes. Okay, that's really nice.
And as you can tell, I was starting to feel pretty good. I mean, an energy attached pass, all I needed to do was get a Heatran attacking next turn if they don't bench anything, and that could have been a donk, effectively, giving us a really strong move into the final round. But let's not get carried away.
Okay, there's an Arven. No donk, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, that's sad. But they follow up with the TM evolution play, poffering for 2 basics, attaching to Dreepy, and going for said evolution. I then responded by accelerating to Heatran, playing Secret Box to get Poffin, Evolution, Iono, and Artisan, then playing said Poffin to get Beldum and Gimmighoul with the thought of getting things out quick to prevent Dragapult punishment in later turns. Then I use Artisan to grab Regigigas and play Iono, hoping for some evolutions for next turn, which we did with Jack. So I accelerated the remaining energy onto Regigigas and attacked the Charmander. And after my opponent developing their board, they played an Ultra Ball for what I was expecting is a Dragapult, and I was right.
Okay, I sense this is a big turn here. They've got Dragapult. We need them to not get a Hawlucha. If I can jack into those 2 Pokemon on the bench, We're just in a much better spot naturally. That's what I need to do here. Phantom Dive. Okay, that feels pretty good. That said, if they get enough... Well, they can't get another Dragapult next turn. That's the good thing. They can build up to that. Either way, that feels pretty nice.
And it felt nice because I had more time to evolve my boys, which I inevitably did. And after just about getting enough energy, I was able to knock out the active Dragapult.
And see if we can keep the ball rolling.
Not only did it roll, it came to a stop as our opponent conceded.
They conceded? What?
Okay, I was getting a bit carried away there. It is relatively normal to concede game 2 if you have a poor start, hoping to win in game 3. And that's what my opponent did there. So let's get into game 3 and see how it goes.
I tell you what, I'm really feeling the going second meta right now. It feels like they go second, they win. I go second, I win. Unless we get a disgusting turn 1 hand here. And it's looking pretty mid. Unless we get a good top deck of like Jacques, then we're fine. But yeah, going second is definitely a huge advantage here for them.
But either way, we cannot blame chance. I can just do the best I can. And with filling out my board on my first turn, the nerds were starting to rile up.
I think I need to get all my evolutions out quickly. This might be silly. This might be silly of me, I don't know.
And this wasn't helped by them starting off with 2 Dreepy and 2 Charmander plus the TM evolution.
Yeah, the top deck is really poor as well. This is looking kind of bad. We're just going to get 2 energy in hand at least so we can increase the top deck odds. But, man, just absolutely dying here.
And it wasn't getting any better as they got Charizard to accelerate not only itself, but get Chi-Yu ready to go, whilst pulling off a couple Dracloaks, retreating and attacking.
You know, we got all these Beldums, but nothing to show for it. Give me something here. Come on. All right, top deck time. Let's go. Oh, yes, that's something. That's a secret box. I could TM Evo. Oh, I need to think this through. I might have to actually get rid of this energy recycler to be able to pull off a TM Evo, which is crazy, but I think I have to do it. I have to TM Evo. I think I have to get a Jacques, an Artisan, Artisan, and another recycler most likely, and just TM Evo. I need to get my boys out. That's what I got to do. I could also pop in. No. I think this is the best I can do right now. We're gonna go for an Artisan into Regigigas. We attach to it and we TM Evo into double Beldum. I mean, the odds of them just getting a boss KO are relatively decent. But if that's the case, I have Jacques and the Gold Dengo's ready to go. So, all right, we're not out just yet.
Is that the sound of hope I hear coming from my voice? My suspicions was right, as after developing their board state, they bossed up my Regigigas, taking a KO.
It's still looking very scary. We can get a 1-hit KO. 4 heads is a... No, sorry. 5 heads. 5 heads is a 1-hit KO with Goldengo? Ooh, all right. Well, I'm going to have to get Heatran out. I need to keep attackers going. Let's just Jacques. And this is going to be a massive, massive opportunity for us to just try and get there. If we can just get... If I can load up this Goldengo to the max and just 1-hit KO this Zard, it could be a game changer. Come on, please. Just let me keep up. That's all I need to do. Oh, no. All right, 2, please. I don't even know if I can do this now. It's a 1. Oh, Matang is letting me down in the last minute. Please, come on. It's another 1. This deck plays 18 metal energy. I can't even take the knockout. Even if I get all 4. If I get all 4, I'm going to be furious. Don't you dare. Okay, all right, fine.
What a blow. 3 Matangs and only 4 energy. You honestly couldn't write that. That just cannot fly at this point in time. But either way, our opponent simply drew more cards, attached to the active Charizard, evolved into a Charmeleon, and took a knockout. And with a 0-card hand, I was grateful to draw into Arven because at least I can use Rod and Artisan to recover Regigigas and get it back into play, which is something I actually held out on and instead decided to accelerate a Heatran and get another one down, accelerating to Beldum as well, to allow myself to have a pivot so I can go into Regigigas next turn if I really needed to. Now, sadly, we didn't get much from the prizes either, just a Recycler and an Evolution. But that didn't really matter much as they came up with Chi-Yu, again switching up the prize trade.
Yeah, I think that Chi-Yu is going to be the reason we lose here. I'm not trying to be too negative. I'm trying to be just honest about this and fair. The way the prize trade is working is I need to take two prizes out to win, and that stops it. They've forced a single prize board. That Chi-Yu is actually winning them this tie by the looks of it. All right. I think I energy recycle here. It still is correct for me to not throw down the Regigigas with everything in mind, so they don't get the potential to go, unless if I whiff this turn, it's definitely a loss. Like, Metal Makers, don't let me down again, please. Okay, all right, that's fine. I'm only actually going to put the 2 here and just take the KO. As long as I can pivot into Regigigas, take a 1-hit KO, maybe we get an Iono and maybe they whiff. That's what I'm hoping for here. It's rough. It's not something you want to hope for, but we're just going to have to wait and see, man.
And with them evolving straight into Charizard, accelerating to itself and to the Dracloak, playing Nestball to get Pheasantipity, and evolve into Dragapult, it was now impossible to win. As they had 2 attackers, no matter what I did, hand disruption or anything else, they had something that would knock me out the turn afterwards. And so, to finish off with a bang, we get a KO with Regigigas, but accept our final defeat at the end of this tournament. But you know what? We achieved our goal. Playing a deck that is not as good as it could be, and with someone like me, that is a win. I'm really happy with myself, as we ultimately finished in 7th place out of, I believe, 80 players in this tournament, with a deck that no one else was playing. That's what I call a huge W. Now, if you want to leave a like on this video, please do. This took forever to make, and there was a lot of audio problems in the process, so I hope you forgive me on that. And I'll see you in the next one.